and gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
All right, it's Happy at Work Thursday. That's what we all aim to be, happy at work. And we have with us the founders at Career Agility International. We have Adrian and Yen in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Happy
morning,
New Year.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I mean, we're happy at work, but are you happy at work?
Always.
Adrian and Yen.
No, whoever's
Very
listening in. Who's
What work?
exactly.
We are happy at work. We are also happy when we are not working. So
Happier.
We are always happy. So
I'm happier when I'm not working.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about money again today.
yeah. In fact, today we're talking about career health because 2025, a new year has started, and a lot of us are having New Year resolutions, or as what Angel says, intentions, right? New Year intentions. And one of the good intentions to have is to have better physical health, so that we can enjoy life
Yes.
more.
Yeah.
But likewise, when we want to enjoy our life more or our career more, we need to have career health as well. And today and in the next couple of sessions, we're going to talk about career health.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the career health part of it. But today, obviously, money is a very exciting and very sexy topic and quite contentious as well. But what we want to do is to focus on the overarching idea of making sure that your physical health, that's priority. And then we can look at your career health, and then we can talk about how can we get paid more.
money.
All right, I love it.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's talk about that on The Big Show TV. Here's Shambuzi with a bar song on Kiss 92. Do you guys have different definitions of career health? Like, if there was one thing to define career health for you, Yen, what would it be?
It's an overarching sense of contentment for me, because it's about managing all the many little bubbles that you have to juggle to ensure that everything is kind of on track, like a DJ panel.
Okay.
So if you think about it, there are dials and there are little, I don't know,
Knobs and
knobs
buttons.
Knobs and faders
Sometimes one of them would scream a little bit more, and then you've got to pay attention to that. And then sometimes you need to do something else. So for me, it's all about making sure that I have a handle on everything.
All the levels are even.
See, when the levels are even, radio speak, it's called unity.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
I
So
did
maybe
not
it
know
should be
that.
career
Really?
health and harmony.
And unity. Yeah, no,
Nice.
In fact, exactly what Yen said about career health. Sometimes, in fact, oftentimes, once you get your career health, we want to take it a step further because, like your physical health, it's not just important to be healthy. You got to be fit as well. And you got to. It's okay to be healthy as a baseline, but if you're not fit, like myself, sometimes after a long Christmas break, I just walk up 1-2 flights of staircase and
They winded.
yeah. So the fitness is gone after a while. So you have to be fit. And in order to be fit, as what my personal trainer used to say, you can't just be strong. You got to be strong. You got to be toned. You got to be flexible. And what else is there? You're the.
Where's the personal trainer now?
He gave up on me.
Oh dear.
He gave up on me. So it's a hopeless case, boy. Hopeless case. So it's quite important to not just be healthy, but to be career fit as well. Because when you're fit, you if you injure yourself, you heal faster. Or better still, you don't stretch your back. You know how to avoid busting your spine.
There's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. I was sick most of December, and then now my husband is taking turns.
Oh,
so
no.
I think the bug just keeps going
HPMV?
around. I don't think so.
Okay. That's
Well,
we're
I
just
hope
throwing
not.
that up
Tune
in
in
the air.
tomorrow. Tomorrow we're
Yeah.
getting Dr. Leong Ho Nam to come in again
Oh,
to
wow.
tell us a little bit more about HPMV.
PMV, yeah.
MPV.
HPMV.
HPMV. I've been saying HMPV,
No, I don't think it's. Oh my gosh! Now you're confusing
No
me.
wonder.
Let me-
That's why just now when she mentioned I thought I heard her say HMPV. I said, are we talking about the car show this weekend or what?
No, it's HM.
Hybrid.
You're right. It's HMPV.
Oh, it's MPV.
It's MPV. Yeah.
Oh,
Now
yeah, you see what I mean? That's why I knew I
Because
heard
it's
like
human
MPV.
metapneumovirus.
Oh,
So it's human meta.
HMPV.
Yeah,
Easy to remember now.
MPV.
HMPV.
Like hybrid MPV.
Human people mover. But no joke, I think it is going around, and you came down with it. Your husband's with it. I don't know if that's
No,
it.
I
but-
got influenza.
Oh, you got- oh.
And I was just about to say, if we just get one little something, and then everything else falls apart. Because
in
like I've
career
got
as well?
I have a fever, and then suddenly I'm like I don't enjoy my meals. I can't enjoy my kids,
Yeah.
stories. So in the same way, if one element of your career isn't going well, we tend to feel like everything is kind of spiraling as well. So if you can keep track of your career health, and then you're going to be okay. Even the negative changes are going to be manageable.
How do we keep track though of our career health?
Yeah, and that's why we created Coach
Coach Carol.
CoachCarol.ai. For our listeners out there, if you go on to CoachCarol.ai, the app which we developed is a career health assessment tool. It measures up to 18 career indicators of your different parts of your career health and provides advice on how you can manage it. So it's an amazing tool which you can just do a quick health check. It's almost like just going for your blood test and finding out what's wrong or what's right.
But you see, some people, they'll go for a blood test when they are feeling unwell.
Only when they're feeling
So
unwell,
my next question here is, if you're feeling well, where you are, what you're doing, do you still have to go for that
Coach
health
Carol?
check with Coach Carol?
I think it's important to just get a baseline even to start with, and then as you progress, you can try again as many times as you want to get the checks done, so that you can actually track. Like my cholesterol is bad. Okay,
Are you tracking it?
I have given I'm tracking. No, I am tracking it, and it's under control with medication. But I still need to track it because sometimes it goes up, and then I need to increase the dosage.
But you don't want to over obsess as well, right? So how often should we be health checking our careers? Is it like a quarterly, a yearly thing, half a year?
I think it depends on your situation,
On how happy you are.
or how volatile your environment is. But yeah, if you're really, really unhappy and you do a check today, then check in again in 3 months' time after you've spoken to us. You can reach out to us if you're very unhappy or you're facing any issues. And so I was about to ask if you've signed up or registered for a health check this year.
I have. I go
You
every
skipped-
year.
did you
that's
go
the thing.
last year?
Last year, no. Last
You
year I
didn't
didn't
go, right?
Yeah, but
He
I
was overindulging. He was scared.
From the age of 40, right? I was just going like every year. And after like maybe 8 years, right, I stopped enjoying it already. Because as you grow older,
Enjoying.
you start to feel like, maybe you come down with something else.
Stop enjoying going for the health check, you mean, right?
Yeah,
Or
because
you get scared.
You love doing well when it comes to tests, exams, and
Yeah,
stuff like that, right? So when you're 40, you go, hey, not a problem. I can have a huge night of drinking. I'll go for my health check the next day, blood tests and all that. I'm still like
Little bit of high cholesterol is fine.
But I realized as the years went by, all of a sudden there would be like, okay, a borderline thing here, and you'd tell me, okay, don't drink too much, or don't do this, don't do that. It's scary. So that's how I felt, and that's why last year I skipped it. Okay, let's go on air again. Traffic update.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Apart from all the peak hour traffic that's happening on all the usual roads, there's nothing to report. If you think otherwise, you can always drop us a WhatsApp 885550
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to Thursday's edition of The Big Show. Today we have not one from Career Agility International, but two. The two main people at Career Agility International, Adrian Choo as well as Yen. Welcome, guys.
Good morning, guys. So today we are starting off a series of topics that you've called career health, but specifically we're talking about salary health today. What exactly is salary health?
Well, salary health is one of, it sounds like a vegetable, right?
It does.
Salary for health. No, the salary health is basically how you feel towards the money you're getting paid for at work. So sometimes it's about the money, sometimes it's about the perks and everything. But a lot of times we did a survey and we found that almost 72% of people felt that they weren't being paid enough.
72, that's really high.
Yeah, I think I'm wondering whether it's really low.
Who
I don't know. I
actually
think it's
feels
high. I don't
like, okay, I'm being paid enough?
But I think-
Nobody
I'm
thinks
surprised
money.
it's 72. I would have thought like maybe 90% or something.
Yeah, but
like
I
that.
agree with you. 72 does sound very high for me because and I think it's because last year inflation was bad. That's why everyone feels they're not paid enough. But is it we got a call. I got a call last week. Someone asked me in sales, asked me, I want to get, how do I get how do I get paid more? And my answer to her was, sell more.
Okay.
She's in sales, right?
Yeah.
So you don't
okay.
get paid more, you sell more, you get bigger commissions. But she was unhappy with it, and there's so many underlying reasons why she was unhappy with the salary. So that's why we wanted to talk a bit more about today. What actually affects that feeling you have towards the salary you're being paid, that maybe your feeling is not enough. Because I rarely find someone who's saying that I'm paid too much.
Yeah, right. Or I'm being paid enough.
Oh, I'm like really happy with what
Okay,
I'm getting.
let me do a test right now. Shalini Susan. Okay, please give her the microphone. Oh, you see the horror in her face. Okay, now Shalini, you tell me now. You go out with many of your friends, right? Any of your friends say that they are being paid enough or too much, or do they feel like they should be paid more?
They always feel like they should be paid more.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm not going to put you on the
Yeah,
spot.
I know. She was scared. She was like, oh my God.
Will I put you on the spot like that? I love you so much, I won't. I love you also, Cheyenne. That's why I will never... Or maybe... Okay. So, Cheyenne.
Yes.
What about your friends? Any of your friends, maybe even one, is saying that he or she is being paid enough?
Definitely not.
No?
No.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, I'm so happy with what I'm getting at work. You know, I don't think I need to ask for a raise. Nobody has ever said that.
What I have heard
Yeah.
is when someone reaches a stage like flow and they're really happy with the work, the content of their work, they would make this statement: I can't believe I'm getting paid for this.
Yes.
And that is something else, because again, I think maybe it's about society or something. We cannot go out to the world and say, I'm being paid a lot. It's not right.
It's not nice.
No one's
Yeah.
gonna look at you and want to be friends with you after that.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna say they're paid enough.
I am
And that's-
totally satisfied. Okay, great. I think we are different. You know why? Because we don't solely depend on what, for example, radio is
Yeah.
paying us. Right. So when we go out and when we do gigs and all that, every time I do a couple of gigs or whatever in the month, I'm like, damn, I'm really lucky. It's like it
is
supplements your income,
Yeah.
and you can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I charge $1,000 an hour, right? You can't complain.
No. If
And-
you
and you
did, you'd
enjoy
be
it.
an idiot.
And you enjoy it,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly, and I enjoy it.
And it's
right?
like fun, and you're getting paid to
Yeah.
have fun.
So we are
Which
those
is a great
people
thing.
So-
that say we can't believe we're getting paid for doing what we're doing.
Yeah, or should we just pretend and just be dissatisfied? This is what
No,
I
no,
mean.
I
Because we
don't
were
think
talking
so.
about
Yeah,
people
yeah, that's true,
who
that's
go
true.
like, oh, what, you getting paid enough? I hate you.
Who are you hanging around with?
Yeah,
No one has ever said that to you, though, because you hang around
No.
with the correct people.
right.
But it's all the haters, obviously, in the background right now, listening to us. They're all
Yeah.
going, "Oh,
But I
maybe
give back what? I give back.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, friends, come, let's go. Dinner's on me today. Okay.
So one thing about salary and about money is that it's always emotional. And that's the problem, because you might feel you're being underpaid. Your boss looks at the work your output and goes, you're overpaid. So a lot of times it's subjective, but also because it's emotional, that's why people tend to be a bit unreasonable about it. Either way.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes you're happy with what you have until you look next door, and then they've got a brand new car.
No. That's the first thing to a downfall is comparing yourself, I feel.
Yeah.
Don't compare. Like, be happy with the stuff
Yeah.
that you have and work on your own stuff. Because when you start to compare, you start to feel anxious and you start to feel, like you're losing out. I think that's the worst thing.
Maybe
you
don't
can-
compare, aspire.
Aspire, yes. Yes.
Right?
Aspire. Let them inspire and motivate you.
I just realized when I said I'm like $1,000 an hour, I sound like a high-class prostitute.
Yes, you do. You are a high class prostitute.
Oh dear. Okay, it's 8:17.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by
So we have some people on Facebook. Mall has said nobody will ever complain about being paid too much, but we'll secretly wonder what the hidden agenda is for being overpaid. Is there a hidden agenda for being overpaid?
It really sounds like she's heard of some toxic places
Yep.
where sometimes we've heard lots of stories about companies that perhaps give a lot of benefit.
Yeah.
Or they put you in a lot of debt because everyone has to have a car, kind of to handcuff you to the role or to the company. Yeah.
She did the Carol health check. She's a lion.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Mall's a lion.
Yeah.
What was I? I was a
You were a
baby,
lion also.
But baby lion. It was so cute though.
There's a baby lion.
But
All
the
animals
image
are
is so cute.
Yeah, I think Mol has been a fervent listener for
Yeah.
the longest time. That's why she's a lion, because she's getting all the good advice from
Yeah,
us.
I thought she was an FD fan. I thought she would be over the other side listening to
Don't
FD.
tell her that now.
No, I'm.
Thank you
I'm
for
just
staying with us,
I'm
Mol.
saying that I'm grateful, Mol.
Thank you for
I'm
staying with
grateful for you just making him feel a bit shocked when he actually. You are ours.
So the other big question is like, how then do you monitor your salary health? Because you don't know whether you are up or down and Yen, what's your biggest number one suggestion?
Gosh, there's so many. Because context matters, and I think if you have a very open relationship with your leader, they can give you a sense of where you are in terms of your salary and your compensation. I like to use the word total compensation rather than just salary, because people tend to focus just on the cash component, but not on the bigger
The incentives and everything else.
Everything else, because you've got subscriptions, you've got
Benefits.
licenses, you've got allowances. Bonuses. I hope everyone gets a bonus this year. Woo.
Yes, everyone's gotten their bonus letters already.
So I would recommend having a conversation with your leader. And another quick tip is to go out and reach out to recruiters, because they can also tell you what the market rates are. And then you can benchmark yourself against those market rates.
Okay.
One of the worst places to get an idea of whether you're underpaid or overpaid are salary surveys. I hate salary surveys.
Yeah, I've seen those.
For example?
I'm not getting close to what I'm meant to be paid on that. On those
Yeah.
surveys. They're terrible. They make you feel like, oh my gosh.
What salary
I'm
surveys?
so
though?
underpaid.
So sometimes if you do a Google search on like salary survey Singapore, then they tell you like, a marketing manager in Singapore
Supposed to get
should
this.
get
should
yeah.
get this amount
yeah.
of money, but it's very contextual, like what Yen said. Because someone in technology will get better pay because the margins are higher and it's so much more demanding. Maybe it's someone who is in hospitality or maybe in manufacturing.
Oh, it's a startup versus an MNC
Yeah,
or
correct.
something
Could it be
like
just
that.
a
like
gauge? I mean, sometimes when they put out
Average.
these,
I think it's an
average, yeah,
average.
but then it's quite
articles.
useless to have an average. It's almost like reading your horoscope. Tomorrow you'll meet the man of your dreams. Like who? Me, you, all
Yeah.
the other.
Every one of you
Pisceans.
Capricorns will meet the man of your dreams.
Yeah, so it's even me, I don't know. You see, so it's amazing how useful and useless it is at the same time.
But so people should not be paying attention to that at all?
That's not true. I think salary surveys are really good if you are early in your career.
Okay.
Because I think the measurements are clearer and more transparent, because they do take entry-level surveys regularly, quite rigorously. So we know how much fresh grads are making.
So most of these numbers are for people just starting out.
Well, and then after that, beyond that, right, sometimes it's not an average, it's a wide range. So a marketing manager without an industry would be 60,000 a year to 250,000 a year. It's a
Yeah.
huge range.
Yeah,
But-
and also, if you're still in school
Yeah.
and you're studying really hard and you're getting close to having to make a career choice, and you read, let's say, a survey like that, you look at the survey, you might like aspire to.
Hit the top number,
So,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a data point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, and that's one thing that Yen and I don't quite agree on, is that in terms of salary data for the fresh graduates, coming out, I always think it's inflated. I mean, it's like, goodness.
It's very high.
It's high. You look at a fresh graduate now, and apparently they earn about 5 to 6K.
That's a lot of money for a fresh
crazy.
graduate.
And I'm wondering,
no.
where do you get the data from?
Is that really what they're getting?
I don't know. We need to ask people out there. But I think maybe perhaps the people who respond are those who are making that much money and they're going like, yeah, I'm so proud of it. People who are not making that much, another rubbish salary survey, they throw it away. So the data could be skewed. Maybe if you're really good, I'm sure you can make about 7-8K a month.
That's a big starting point, though. I mean,
just starting out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
like where do you go from there?
I think the sample size might be
Small.
questionable.
Yeah,
And-
I would say the minority definitely.
Yeah,
right?
of course,
I mean,
of course.
there will be
it's a bell curve,
cases.
Right? It's
exactly.
a bell curve. But what I'm saying is that it causes people to have very unrealistic expectations. They go into the job market and they start saying that I want to be paid 6,000 because this salary survey said so. And then they're measuring different people. You're measuring people from the NUS, SMU, and NTU, all these guys, all these folks, versus someone who may be coming from an overseas university that may not be as prestigious or and then they're coming in and saying, I want to be paid as much as this Harvard graduate over here.
Yeah.
So there's so much variables involved.
I tell you what, Adrian, the next time, let's say you come across an article or a survey like that, call them out. I think you should
And
be the
then we
one
should
to
talk
call them
about
out
it on the show
and
or
ask them like,
something,
hey, come on, give us some proof here.
Yeah.
Substantiate this whole thing. Don't just say, look, this fresh graduate.
How much
will be
data
able to-
did you collect and
Exactly.
what was the
Yeah.
pool and all
there's,
that?
There's no smoke without fire. So the fact
There's
that
some truth.
they're reporting it means there's truth. But I think it's on us, consumers, to look at the data that is going to be relevant to us.
But they need to be transparent and say, okay, we surveyed 100,000
Yeah.
people who are 20 years old
Yeah.
starting out.
Yeah.
So there's only one source of pure data which I trust.
Which
Okay,
is?
it comes out from the government. I believe it comes from the IRAS income tax. They call it MRSP, CP. I can't remember what it's called. But it's salary data for the job description in classified according to industry. And like for instance, CEO salaries, the manufacturing CEO salary is this band, for
Right.
technology is this band, healthcare is that band,
Finance is this
Yeah,
band.
correct. So they want because it's based on empirical data, government.
Right.
So that is one thing I would probably believe in.
Based on what
I
the
don't
people
know.
declare they own.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
earn.
okay. You're assuming
Yeah.
they declared the
Correctly,
exact
yeah.
amount.
They were accurate.
We have a
That's
question from Derming on Facebook. He says, is it taboo to find out your competitor company's equivalent position salary and tell your boss about it?
I don't see why not. Because is market information, and I think salaries should be transparent to a large extent.
To who though?
To everyone, because we should be paid by the role and job responsibility, not just because we've got 10 years in the company. Some people insist that they prefer to be paid by seniority, but no, it should be or based on the value that you bring in or the size of your responsibility, and I think there's going to be a little bit of a shift in terms of how we look at salaries, because now we're not allowed to ask during an interview, what was your last drawn?
Oh,
I mean, we shouldn't be asking that.
but it's not like it's law. You cannot ask.
No.
You just-
Singapore doesn't have that law.
Right.
But politically incorrect, I think a lot of the large companies know that it's discriminatory to be asking what was the last drawn because it is confidential. But I can ask you what would be your expectations
Right.
for this role. And then you can always ask me, what is the budget set aside for this role?
My big
So Terming just now, right, to answer his question, like, is it okay to go over to the boss to tell the boss that, hey,
That
Yeah.
company is
Yeah.
giving so much, yeah.
Yeah.
over the years, from my experience, the boss will just go like, okay, you're not happy over here, you go over there.
yeah, that's what.
They'll pay you more over there.
And before he even says that, the big question: how do you broach the subject with your boss? Boss, my competitor company, the guy is doing my job's paid more. How do you know?
Yeah. And how
I
did
had
you find
lunch.
out?
I had lunch with the guy.
him. Or
Yeah.
the head, or the boss offered me a job, and this is the offer I signed.
Yeah.
it's a bit
That's
hard
a
to broach
nuance.
as well.
That's a nuance because it's not what you say. Sometimes it's how you say it. So I know people who just would openly, just share that. Yeah, I've had a chat, and did you know I found out this?
Right.
Kind of slip it in.
Make
you
it,
know?
yeah, make it don't sound so direct.
Okay, Angel's traffic update coming up.
I'm hunting, looking for a comer. This is being awesome.
Is that your grandma's coat?
Kiss 92 traffic.
There is a situation on the AYE. This is heading towards the MCE after the Clementi Avenue 6 exit, causing a backup all the way to Jurong Town Hall's entrance. Avoid lane 1. There's an accident that's occurred. Also on the TPE heading towards the PIE, another accident after the KPE exit. Avoid lane 2. If you spot anything else or have any updates on those situations, you can always let us know. 8855
We're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Adrian Choo and Yen with us today. Happy at Work Thursday. We're talking about career health, and very often I think career health reflects your actual health as well.
Yes, I think so as well, because I feel like health is wealth. It's no longer wealthy is going to make you happy. Healthy is going to make you wealthy and happy.
Because you know why? When you're
Because-
wealthy, sometimes you'll be
You're-
unhealthy. You know why?
Exactly.
Because all the money in the world, you're eating
Oh, yeah.
all the rich
Caviar and
foods.
the champagne and-
just overindulging. And so, you have the money, but then you don't have the health.
That's true. We have
Rich people should be starving themselves.
rich people. We have a comment on our Facebook saying that they usually check their salary benchmarks from Glassdoor. What's your opinion on that?
I think Glassdoor is somewhat accurate. But I question its intentions because only unhappy people go on board to complain.
It's all
and-
user generated
and
information,
it
right?
is. And so, again, it's global. So if you're looking for Singapore data, it might be a bit diluted because not everyone's going to be open about declaring accurately what they make.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So not the place to go.
Well, again, it's about data points. So if you collect enough data points and you plot the scatter graph,
Yeah.
you'd find it sort of, around a specific range. And then you can't, it's just collecting a bunch of data points to see what would be relevant and
the average.
and accurate for you.
I think one of the best ways to benchmark your salary is if you are approached by a headhunter or recruiter for a similar role in a competitor, for a similar size, scope, and then you see what they tell you the budget is. And suddenly you're realizing that, what, you mean they're being paid 3 times more than me? Then you know that you're grossly underpaid. Or if they come up to you and tell you that the budget is half what you're getting, then you're like, oh, wow.
And then if you speak to 2 or 3 more and you get exactly the same information, and
You
it
know
gives you
it's
some
legit.
confirmation.
Yeah, I think because those guys are really in the thick of it.
The
And they-
recruiters.
and they really and they're given a budget by their client.
So what do you do when a recruiter comes to you and says, "Oh, company XYZ wants to hire you for double the amount," and you're like, "Oh,
What's the catch?
but I'm really happy where I am." What do you do?
I think always hear them out.
The
Just find
recruiter
out.
or
Just
your
hear
boss?
The recruiter. Just hear the recruiter out. Talk to them, find out, it's not just to find out data points about salary. You can find out more information
The role.
about the world, what's the working, what are the trends, what are some of the skills this new company they are looking for, and whether you have it, and what sort of. In fact, I used to tell my clients that if you talk to, you go interview with your competitor to get market info. So which areas, which countries are you planning to target or move into, or what products are you pushing more? And then you got market info and you can
Take
use
it
it
back to your
yeah, you
company.
can use it as you wish because it's up to them. I mean, they want to entice you. I've seen people go on fishing expeditions before, but I've also seen headhunters or companies who are going on fishing expedition for their competitors. So they say, "I've got a job for you. Can you come on?" And you tell me more about your business. So be careful either way.
Yeah, but not many people can resist like an offer
Right.
of more money. You see.
Exactly.
That's the thing, right? But they don't think about, okay, once I go over there, am I going to have a smooth
There's always a catch.
time?
Yeah.
There's always a catch,
There's
right?
always a catch. Yeah.
But still, I mean, money is money. Right? We all
Yeah.
love money. That's the thing. Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian and Yen on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's something new. Check it out.
This is brand new. Here's a tune that
Bernard is saying that he used to work in an NGO and his wife would always comment that her fresh graduates would earn higher than him at 5 or 5,000 plus. That's what goes back to our conversation about fresh grads.
Yeah, and different industries have different pay scales, obviously. Yeah.
It sounds more like these people who are getting paid like 5,000 and above, as fresh graduates and all that. Probably the financial sector.
Maybe.
More likely the financial sector.
I think the data is pointing towards finance and technology
Fintech, maybe
Oh.
also, yeah.
and cybersecurity.
And a lot of startups as well are paying really, really well because they got massive amount of funding, for example, so all the money is being thrown and hiring all the best. So
Yeah.
a lot of the startups are paying well as well.
See, that's why no one wants to be a radio presenter anymore. So they're all like, I want to be more
just to add on,
ambitious than that.
adding on to Adrian's point about the amount of money, and you were talking about what if there was an offer sitting there and
Yeah.
it's very exciting. What should you do? You progress those conversations because you always want to be looking for your next progression. You want to look for your next role, your next growth. But at the same time, there's this stress per dollar graph that we have spoken about. If they are paying you X% more, well, what are the expectations of you? Are you going to be flying like X double
6
of
days
that
a week or something?
or
yeah.
something, and covering some outer lying countries that you don't want to travel to?
Timbuktu,
Mongolia.
Papua New Guinea, and Mongolia would be nice though. I just wouldn't want to go to Papua New Guinea though.
Lots of opportunities in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, those countries would be great.
Have you all been to those countries?
No, but we've heard.
I've seen
I
enough
was,
Bora.
I was beginning to feel left out there. No, I've not been to Kazakhstan.
He's like
I've not been to
Timbuktu and Papua
Mongolia.
New Guinea.
No, but I think in terms of if you're being offered and you're being courted by a competitor, or any company for that matter, even as you want to keep the door open, I think it's bad if you lead them on. So I've seen as in my headhunting career, I've seen individuals who act like they are so eager to come on and everything, and they lead you on to the point where the offer letter is out, and then they go like, oh no. And they just take the offer letter back to their bosses and they show their bosses the money, the number, and say,
Yeah.
So
We black mark those.
we black mark those folks.
Yeah.
So
It's not. It's just inappropriate.
I think it's okay to have a fact-finding conversation or two, but if you're not really interested to, throw your hat into the
Say
ring,
so.
yeah, don't waste my time. Yeah, it's not just the recruiter; it's the hiring company as well. So that organization's not going to touch you.
Do lots of people still play games like that now?
I think
story.
it's human nature for sometimes, no. Sometimes you're just too feeling too bad to say no if you're being courted aggressively. And what's worse than turning them down at the last minute is feeling so bad that you sign on and you realize that, oh, what have I done? So there are a lot of considerations when you talk about switching jobs and everything. That's why if you have any problems, just come talk to us. info@careeragility.org. Always happy to have that discussion with you.
But how would you react if an employee does come up to you and say, and says, XYZ company just, as in a direct competitor, just offered me this amount, and I'm telling you guys about it, right now, without saying, are you going to match what they offered?
Because you've got a good relationship with your boss, you're like, oh, they just
Exactly.
approached me, and they're offering double or whatever it is.
Yeah, because on one hand, you need to tell your bosses that
And
you've
be
been
open,
approached,
right? Yeah.
and tell them everything. So how would you?
Like what Yen said, that the context matters, tonality matters, the messaging matters. I mean, if you come and say, hey, boss, the other company, then what the boss is going to receive in his brain is like, oh, you want to quit, you want to join a competitor, you're asking me. So if in a situation like that,
Yeah.
I think the
Let's
first,
say this guy is a good guy. He's a
he's
good guy. He's just always honest with his
Friendly
boss.
and they've got a good relationship.
But the fact is, they have made him an offer, and they've even mentioned the remuneration package.
so if I were the boss, I would think to myself first thing, is this guy really important for me, for my operations? If it's really important and I can't do without him, I'll just match. And I ask myself why it's why am I underpaying him if it's really true? Okay, fine, no, I'll pay him.
But it could be the other side is overpaying.
Could be.
Because
Yeah.
they want him
They're
so
desperate for
badly.
him.
So would you still match the pay?
It depends if it's unreasonable. I wouldn't match. Jen's shaking her head as well.
Generally no, because also it depends on where in the process he's come to me with the information, because he's already got an offer, which means he's not been transparent with me during the entire interview process.
Let's say he's come
Maybe
to you
there's
to
no
say.
interview?
Let's say he's come
No
to you.
way, no way,
No?
never accept the job offer without an interview.
No,
guys.
maybe somebody you're known
Yeah.
with that. You've got that reputation. You've been in the industry for like 20 years.
Yes.
You are the marketing shark that everyone wants.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like everyone knows you, so you don't need an interview. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Someone comes to you straight away,
With a
offer on the
straight offer.
table.
No.
Come join me.
No.
$2 million a year. We want to hire you. Still have to interview.
The interview is bi-directional. It's not for them so much as for you yourself to go find out what they need you to do and what are they going to suck your blood for. It's going to be a big thing. Never take an interview without first going to never
take an offer
without first going into the office, meeting some people and meeting a few people so that you understand the playground.
Yeah, you got to
Or
see
you
what's behind the
understand-
curtains.
Yeah, sort of get a sense of why, what, who, where, how long, how much, and ask all the questions that you need to know in order to make an
Decision.
accurate decision.
But to
Yeah.
sorry, but to answer Glenn's question, I've always had good bosses, and they've always told me that if you do find a better job outside, better offer with better prospects, and if you can't match it, you just go, and I'll be happy for you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't
either
think
either
it's
that or he
nice.
doesn't like me.
I don't think it's nice to hold your leaders hostage with that sort of demand. Like,
Exactly.
And so I would feel hostaged, and immediately, if I were doing all the management principles accurately, I know you are a flight risk. There's going to be some rumbling, but if you come to me, you're doing well. There's a plan for you in the next year.
Right.
I've got development plans. This is your next step. I've got plans for you in mind to grow, and you come and say, boss, there's something else.
Right.
And fine, you just go with my blessings, because it's obviously that you're not getting that satisfaction here, because money it's not about the money.
That's a nice boss.
It's not about the money.
Yeah.
We have a Nurul that came on. She goes, my salary health is no good at all. I'm only earning around $4,000 and I'm 35 years old. Do we pin an amount to an age?
But your physical health good or not? I hope your physical health is okay.
I think our physical, I'm assuming it is, but do we pin an amount to an age?
No, it's never. It's not a linear curve, is it? And don't compare again.
And it
because
depends when she started and where she
it
is.
also
and-
depends on what industry or what kind of role you're doing. If you get a sense that you're undervalued and you could do more, then take steps to look
it.
for those opportunities where you can make more. So there are obviously roles, like in sales roles, for example, very high paying because good commissions.
Yeah, that's true.
So wait, for sales, most people in sales are also given a basic salary, right?
Well, some.
Not all,
Not
not
Some.
all. Some.
I think that's the
I think it
hardest
depends
thing.
on what they're selling. Like if they're selling, I hear something like cars where the commission is quite large. You have a lot of people in the car industry. I think their base is very, very small.
We don't
know.
No,
I've got so many friends in the car industry, right? And some of them are like, with brands that are doing so well right now. But funny enough, when we go out, we just drink.
No,
we
of course.
we don't talk about anything else.
No. I'm not saying that you talk and you sit and you
No,
say
but
how
I
much
should,
do you get
actually,
earned.
but I should,
Just
right?
find out, is your base salary like super tiny as compared to the commission, which is big, because it's a big ticket item, right?
So
I
when
don't-
I was headhunting, I was paid a basic salary and a commission, which was a percentage.
Yeah.
And after the first year, I got good enough and bold enough, and I told my boss, take me off the base totally, just give me a fat percentage off whatever I bring
Ooh,
in.
wow, that confident, huh?
Yeah, and never regretted it for the
So,
next
but
10
what if
years.
market slows though? And you can't sell that thing that you
gotta
want to
eat-
sell.
You gotta eat yourself. So you got to feed yourself. You got.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have the financial discipline and wherewithal to sit down and save as much as you can, so that you can tide through 6 months.
Rainy day,
But thankfully, I never had that long stretch. Even in the great financial crisis of 2008, at the most was about 4 or 5 months. Just the market was settling in, and just sit down and just. So it's a matter of career strategy once again. Once again, it's health strategy. That your salary health strategy. Do you want to have lots of money but kill yourself in the process, or do you want to shift? If you want more money and if you're in sales, get commissions or things like this. These are all strategies for salary health. Very important.
Okay. Going for another traffic update with Angel.
Yeah, real soon. I just wanna love you like I do, cause I never had someone like you. Ain't nobody got this love, got me cuffed. Ain't nobody, babe. All I need is love. I just wanna run away with you.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the KJE towards the PIE, a vehicle's broken down after the Chua Chu Kang Drive exit, and on the TPE towards the PIE, just before the Pasir Ris Drive 8 exit, look out for an accident that's taking up space in lane 1. If you spot anything, you can WhatsApp us at 88550920, but please do it only when you're stationary.
We're back on the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are The Big Show. Glenn and Angel joined by Yen and Adrian Choo today on Happy at Work Thursday. If you want to get in touch with Adrian or Yen, you can do so. info@careeragility.org.
Yeah, we're kicking off a series of topics called Career Health, and today we're talking about salary health.
So how can, since this is going to be the last, talk set, I think what everyone wants to know is how can they get paid more? The quickest way for them to get paid more.
That's the holy grail question, isn't it?
I believe it's if ask you shall receive.
Oh.
You have to ask. Sometimes if you don't bring it up, your boss thinks, they seem happy with their salary. So sometimes it's just having a conversation.
So no need to be paise.
I think no need to be paiseh about it. Just ask.
But there's
a nuance to it.
sophistication.
Yes.
There's a way. I mean, you're not going to barge into your boss when he's having the worst day of his life and say, hey, boss, we need to talk about my raise. That's not going to happen. Right?
Okay.
So there's timing, there's situational awareness.
We have someone who messaged in on our WhatsApp, 88550920. Alexander says, good morning. Totally agree with all the points you've covered so far. Having these health checks are important for our careers. Many folks actually overlook insurance coverage and fail to negotiate with the HR on this front. For example, coverage for dependents or even covering pre-existing illnesses. I think it's totally fine to talk to our managers when an offer does come along, like I did myself, but only because I have a pretty good relationship with my manager. If you do as well, either a matching offer will come in or the manager will wish you the best. Most importantly, never ever burn bridges. Shout out to Adrian for our short catch-up last year. That career health check for me was much needed. Happy to report that I will be starting a new role next month.
Oh, good.
Nicely done, Alex. Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about burning bridges and
Oh
not
my
burning bridges one of these Thursdays.
Yeah, for
Because it's so
sure.
easy to burn bridges, right?
Yeah, sometimes you don't even know you burnt it.
Yeah. Everything falls under career health, right? Do not burn those bridges.
No, but Alex brought up an interesting point. I once had a candidate when I was headhunting. He felt that the insurance policy for the company we were trying to get him to join was not good enough. He said, "No, I used to get for this, that, for my wife, for my kids. Even going to the GP." And HR couldn't negotiate out of it because HR said these are corporate policies. We cannot include your pets,
Your
or
wife, your
whatever it is.
mother,
Yeah.
and everybody
Yeah,
else,
everyone,
yeah.
because that's just a policy. And what I helped to negotiate was I got HR to give him an extra two to 3,000 a year just to buy his own policy.
Oh,
Top
so
up.
to work it in the salary.
Yeah,
Right,
So
okay.
it's a one-off kind of thing. So there are ways to work around packages like these. That's why what Yen said is absolutely correct. Your salary is not just the money, not just the base pay and the commission. There's so many other frills involved.
When you say you negotiated for him, you actually went down for him.
No, because I was his headhunter.
Oh, right. Okay. At the time.
But we
I
also
thought it's
had,
another service you guys provide.
oh no, but we also advise them on how to do it.
How to
because we've
approach
done
the
it before.
topic,
Yeah, so
right.
how to approach, and I think it's all everything's negotiable until it's not.
Yeah.
But until you try it, you wouldn't know. And as I always say, don't ask, won't get.
And I always say, don't ask. The answer is always no.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
I mean, you have to
The
ask.
default answer is no. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's very important. The salary health component is very important for your career health, and it's something you need to pay attention to.
When you go to Bangkok and you shop, you bargain like that.
Actually, honestly, I don't. Unless I know it's being ripped off.
The stuff is already so cheap, though.
Yeah, and at most I'll shave off about 50 cents off, and the poor kid I'm buying the coconut from is like,
Oh my god!
you want to bargain with me?
And then the poor kid is going to pay that older guy who's running this whole ring of coconut sellers. So
correct, and the drug
careful.
lots and everything else.
Exactly.
So the poor little kid's like, okay, sure, I'll give it to you. No, sure, here you want? Give me 3 of those. So money is important. We all
Okay.
work for money, and I always feel that as long as you feel that the amount of money you get is respectful to the amount of work that you put in, I think it's okay.
I think there's more to money than meets the eye as well, because if you look at all the components of your compensation, I think it's nice to take stock, so you've got the cash and you've got the bonuses and the allowances, and sometimes you get the 13th month, and then your insurance, your healthcare, your mobile allowances, there's parking, there's transport. It's
Yeah,
expensive.
add it all up,
And,
yeah.
and you add it all up. Don't forget that the company invests in you as well. So the training costs, maybe you can negotiate something so that you can get some professional development, but the company pays for it, but you benefit.
My goodness.
So there are many ways to skin a cat and to look at how you can benefit from that compensation, but also to acknowledge that the organization that you work for has got other costs as well. Your equipment, the air, the overheads.
Suddenly,
the
everybody is
pantry,
feeling so grateful. They're like, oh,
the pantry, the coffee.
didn't think about all that,
There's a lot.
It is,
for
yeah.
each headcount, there are overheads already in place, and so I think it's good to take stock. Sort of take a quick check on all of your compensation components. And do it for 2025 and see whether or not there are other ways that you can increase some of those dials.
I like
Maybe
that.
I can just increase the dial on the training.
Yeah.
I recommend that.
All right.
okay.
Once again, as I said, if you want to get in touch with Adrian or Yen, you can do so. It's info, that's INFO, at careeragility.org. Thank you very much, Adrian. Thank you very much, Yen. Before we let you go, coming up, we've got Instagram Live at 9 a.m. It's going to be Battle of the Brands. 2 brands that I think we all have in our households. Dishwashing liquid, Mama Lemon or Biohome. Maybe we can get Adrian
your votes in,
Yen's votes. What about you, Yen?
Mama Lemon.
Mama Lemon.
Okay.
what I use.
I've been using Mama Lemon for like the longest time.
Oh my goodness, I think it's going to be a thrashing
I
today,
think
actually.
so too.
So
Okay.
2 to Mama Lemon then.
All right.
I even know the jingles. Mama Lemon.
These jingles work, actually. Okay, so Battle of the Brands on Instagram Live starting at 9 a.m. In the meantime, once again, thank you, Yen. Thank you, Adrian. All right, up next, Sam Smith. This is Unholy on Kiss 92.